Hi, it's Lee White, your transformational coach, and today's video is about making it easier to make decisions. Usually people can't trust their own ability to make decisions, and so in this situation people will look to somebody else to make the decision for them rather than go within themselves and find out what is going to assist them in making the decision. Because when you don't choose to make a decision, the other choice that you're making is to become stuck and to not listen to your own guidance within you. So that's kind of like not listening to yourself and not honoring who you really are. It's not a great situation to be in. And what I can offer you as some guidance around becoming better at making decisions easily is being able to really connect into your motives and what your why is regarding each different decision. Sometimes you need to break it down, but most importantly, you need to take time out, because in ancient times, people were always, they were operating in a slower pace and had more time for reflection and going within. And it's easier than you think. It's really just a stone's throw away from where you are right now to be able to trust that truth within you that's coming up within you. And one of the first things you need to think about is to really let go of waiting for acceptance from others around your decisions that you're trying to make, and really just focus on what is in this decision for me. What is the price if I don't make a decision? What is the price if I choose this one or that one? And how those relate to the values within you. What resonates with you? So you may need time to consider what your own personal values are, and then the more external values about how you're showing up in the world. When people get more clear on their own truth, decision making becomes easy. If there's one big why, then that is all you need to be linking back to. And when you don't have the clarity because you feel like you're considering things from all options, that's okay, because considering all of the options is part of, weighing things up. But making time to kind of go into old time and slow your pace down, creating time to be more considered and more intuitive by going within, by allowing time to just take a walk outside, away from the external stimuli that is overwhelming your life, all of your notifications and your diary reminders and the phone calls and emails and things that keep interrupting your ability to notice what is coming up more intuitively within you. So firstly, make that time to be going and walking and allowing yourself to get out of your normal environment. And then on a walk, you could make time to be doing more of a mindful kind of walk or a meditative walk. If you've never tried it before, it's really not that difficult. And you can always message me or Google it yourself and find out tips on how to do this. But it's certainly time for reflection and for going within and for slowing down your own overactive mind is absolutely critical to helping you come to a better point of clarity and a more sense of what is intuitively coming up within you. So on going to, that second point on mindful walking or meditative walking, the next step for you is to actually stop somewhere and take a seat in a peaceful place where you can just be. So you're no longer chasing, you're no longer racing, you're no longer letting all of that overthinking take place. You are simply allowing yourself to be. You're asking me, what is the point of that? It doesn't sound like I'm taking any action. What you're doing is just creating enough space to receive the guidance that you're really looking for and to be a little bit more intuitive by slowing down. Heard of Isaac Newton? Like, we all know that so many great ideas have come from people who've been able to be a bit more playful or been able to slow things down and just allow that connection within themselves to come through, and them to be in a greater sort of communication with that. And being in alignment with that aspect of yourself is so much more simple than you think. I mentioned earlier stopping and waiting for acceptance, and it's important not to be afraid to go it alone, because anyone who has worked with me as a client certainly knows that you're never really alone. As you change your approach and you slow down a bit more and you change your outlook and you think, I'm going to be open to seeing what is my truth, what really is going to help me be more decisive here, what's that one thing that's my why, or what can I notice more at a more intuitive level, then your way of approaching life and the people that are around you and your tribe will all start to change a little bit. It's not as scary as it thinks. It's just that I can see how by adopting these, you will be able to take on a new approach and create more of a different life, which can sound a bit scary at first because you don't recognize that at first. But what if it gave you an opportunity to be not so much in stuckness and more guided by your own, intuitive self and that which is really important to you? That sounds a lot better, doesn't it? Being, more in that truth. So who lives like this? I bet that you can think some people that seem to be more heart-centered and more driven by what's important to them. Well, some of the famous ones would be Marie Curie, who was so committed to her passion in science. She was living in a time when women were not recognised as scientists, regardless of whether they were, and she won 2 Nobel Peace Prizes. Another person was Marilyn Monroe. She was also extremely dedicated to her passion. Bill Clinton is another one who started very early in his career. And, you may be able to relate to different aspects of these people and how they showed up in the world, in that way they were very authentic. Each of them were very authentic, and you knew that you were getting the real deal. And they all remained a lot longer in their careers than others who may come and go very quickly and not be able to stay committed because they knew what their why is. A bit like Nikola Tesla and Captain Cook, who left such a great legacy to the world through his scientific and geographic wisdom and insights for many generations beyond. You've got to remember that really infinite potential, as Deepak Chopra would call it, that lies within you. And the only limit for you is really whether or not you're choosing to access that, definitely as a part of who you really are and the wisdom that's available to you at any time. And it's easier than you think, just to create more time to allow yourself to go into that deeper level than just trying to make snap decisions or being so stuck in your hasty life that you can't get out of that stuckness. So I hope this has been helpful for you to try a few different ways of having time for your reflection and connecting into what is really true for you. Bye for now.